Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Heck Creative. This time we're going over several different kit batches that I've done. Not just Wolverine, mind you, but my entire X-Men collection. Let's get to it. So as far as claws and heads go, the claws on this one come from the X-Force Wolverine, and they're really cool. They poke in straight, you gotta really heat the hands up a lot, but once you get them in there, it's really worth it. The head from this one actually comes from this figure over here, the retro-carded Wolverine in the brown suit. He looks nice too, and his claws are swapped as well. I think I've swapped every single set of claws on my Wolverines, so I have no clue with who goes what, but it's all about swapping whatever looks best. Next up we got our Wolverine with this head over here, and that's a brand new head on him, for this figure at least, the Hulk Wolverine 2-pack figure. I really like the fins on this one, better than the fins on this one over here. It just has that X-Men animated series look to it. The belt looks really cool on him too. And it's kind of funny that these Wolverines over here have smaller claws and belts without the X on them, whereas these Wolverines over here have the larger claws and the belts with the X on them. And this is where this head came from over here, this figure. And I gave it the X-Force claws because I like having my cartoon-inspired Wolverines have the larger claws at least, and I think that looks pretty cool. As far as your standard civilian Wolverines go, aside from Old Man Logan, who I haven't touched, the Wolverine on the bike, I gave him the hat from the other civilian Wolverine, and I swapped heads basically where this one had a cowboy hat initially, and this one had the patch head. I just swapped them. I like the sort of darker look that it gives this Wolverine, and I like the lighter look it gives this Wolverine, sort of the hero-villain dynamic, where we have our regular civilian Wolverine. You kind of got the angel devil thing on the shoulder, which I kind of like. Also, just to mention, this sword over here comes with this Wolverine, just before I forget. This guy, I just like. He's not modded or anything. Maybe the claws, I'm not sure anymore, but I just like this Wolverine with the Sentinel. So through several different kit bashes here and there, I'd like to call this the Shadow Crew, and I think they're pretty cool. Let's check them out. Dark Beast hasn't changed at all. I just wanted to include him in the group because he looked really cool, and I think he'd be a nice lieutenant for Shadow King. But these Wolverines, I actually took off the claws. So there aren't any claws on them anymore, they're just fists. And they're kind of like secondary guards for Shadow King. And I think they're pretty cool as sort of army building kind of characters if you want to go for the Dark World route. But I just think that's pretty cool, my own little story. The Shadow King, as you've all seen in the previous years, is literally what people have been doing since then. Venom hands from Monster Venom, then we got the head from Professor X, the spare head, and then the body from Kingpin. It's a great kit bash. I really love what Hasbro did, how they gave us another use of this body, especially as Kingpin's being released later on in the year. But I find that this is a really good kit bash, and if you guys have your Kingpin figures that you want to change up, now's the time to change him into Shadow King. And I expect all the pieces to make him will kind of go up on the secondary market probably soon. And for those of you who've been watching my previous videos, first of all, thank you. I never expected the Madcap video to hit 2,000 views, so I'm really happy on that. But I made Shadow Paladin, and I kind of glossed over him as a joke, but I kind of like this figure a lot, especially as I have 3 of them, because I made a couple different Madcaps and sold them off. I really love kit bashing, and it's really fun. And I just find that these guys are really cool. The golden guns, I don't know if I like them or not. I might change them to black or something, because I have a bunch of black guns lying around. But other than that, these figures are nice. They serve as the sort of just mook kind of army builder kind of guy for the Shadow King. Nothing much to say about here other than that it's basically you have your Paladin figure, you have your AIM Soldier figure, and you can make this thing happen. So next up, let's check out Madcap and a couple of Deadpools. I won't go over Madcap too much because I have a whole video on him, but I really love his color scheme, and I'm just really proud I made him. I'm just glad that Hasbro put out all the parts for him to be made, and I think it looks really cool. The black accents are nice. The purple and yellow accents are really good. He has a solid color scheme, good weapons, and he's just a really cool figure to make. He's really hard to track down, but once you actually build him, he's incredibly cool, and I love him. So Symbiote Deadpool, he's pretty cool. I gave him these little bracers on here for his legs, and also these armbands right here from Havoc, who I use for a different custom. Also, this belt is from the Agent Venom figure, who is also another custom. I really like this figure a lot. I never used the Venom pieces on him because I feel like they look too small, and maybe I'll use it for a different custom or something. But I like this guy now better. He has a little more flair and color to him instead of the stark white and black. So I'm watching the first Deadpool movie, and I hear the line Captain Deadpool, and I'm like, well, I'm going to make that someday. So I got the boxer Deadpool, the shield, and the gun, and the flag, and the headphones from the Hitmonkey Deadpool 2-pack. I also got the grenades from Punisher that I wasn't using, and I made this guy. Oh, and also a helmet from Captain America on the motorcycle. And the cape is from Citizen V. I really like this guy a lot. He is probably the funniest Deadpool I've ever seen or made. I just love the fact that he has the white flag and the shield, and it just looks really nice, and it's a nice homage to Captain America, but also how humorous Deadpool can be, and just how weird he can be as a character. So as far as Omega Red goes, you get one of these tentacles with him, you get one of these tentacles with him, you get one each of these. But if you buy two of him, you get two sets of everything. So you can have him use these two tentacles at one time, or use these two tentacles at one time. It isn't really that great of a kitbash, but I'm just saying, the more the merrier for tentacles to plug into this guy's arms and have him wreak havoc. Kind of the same with Magneto. You get a couple different Magnetos, and you can have a lot of fun with them. There's different hands you could swap on and stuff. Like, you could put on the hand that comes with him, or the other one that comes with him. You could also put on Paladin trigger finger hands if you want to have him hold a gun for some reason. You also got these effects that come with him. I don't know why I have 4 pairs of these hands. I think that 2 of them are from one figure and 2 are from the other. But it's pretty cool as well. Okay, let's go over these 3. They're way better than Magneto or Omega Red. I gave Bishop the cape from Thor. I saw that online, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. I put it on him. It actually fits incredibly well. You got the cape contouring to his gun over here. You also got the little tab up here to sort of tab it in. And if you kind of fudge this piece right, this scarf that came with him, it kind of looks like an all one piece. So that's pretty cool, and I just think I like it a lot. I've always liked the Iceman figure that came out a while ago. It was a translucent thing, but it also was this really gummy, wobbly mess that just didn't really hold up over time. So I figured I'd find a new body for him in the form of the retro Cyclops. Didn't need the head or anything for those. And I put the hands on, I put the back piece on, and I put this head on. I also gave him the vintage Iceman piece, this ice piece on the bottom for him to slide on. And I think this looks really nice. You got a really cool X-Men over here with Iceman. I like the boots. It looks like he's in a snow environment, kind of, with the sort of dress he's wearing, an outfit. The only problem is it's a little wobbly, but hey, you know, what are you going to do? I was initially going to choose him for Angel, but I figured that having this kind of body with this wobbliness would be kind of productive to that figure. So I gave it to this one, and I really like how this turns out. You get that blue from the head peg right here, this color. You just put that back on, and it looks really cool. You get a little bit more blue in his face. I like these little bracers right here too. That's pretty cool. But I like the X that comes out of the top right here. I'm so impressed with Angel here. It looks really great. I'm really proud of myself for doing this and thinking this through. Blizzard body right here, and the chest joint's really nice, thank goodness, because it can hold the weight up of these wings. The wings and the head come from the Archangel Deluxe figure with the Apocalypse Claw, and I just really like how this looks. It's beautiful. A lot of people have been doing customs of Angel online, adding the little halo right here. I don't think I need the halo for him. I just need the general sort of look for it to sort of flesh my teams out. And this is just beautiful. These wings are amazingly articulated. They can fold in and out. They have 2 little back wing points right here. It's just really solid and incredibly cool. You just big wingspan, and you can just whoosh. So here's 2 different versions of Sunfire. One from the Warlock Build-A-Figure wave right here, and the other from the Sugarman Build-A-Figure wave right here. I put Captain Marvel flames on them from the Walmart exclusive binary Captain Marvel, and they both look fabulous. I got some flames on the bottom over here, and some flames on the legs and the arms right here. They're not even part of it, but they look like they should be, and they really fit well on these. So let's go over these three really quick. Bishop is holding up Phoenix because she has these terrible feet, but I really like the head they put on her for the Dark Phoenix 2-pack, so I took this horrible head off and I put this new one on, and it looks phenomenal on her. Jubilee right here has these two different effects from Dazzler. I just gave him to her, and she looks great. They look kind of like fireworks like she has in her powers in the show, in the comics. Havoc over here has these different gauntlets for his gloves from Emma Frost. You gotta heat them up a little bit, you put them on, this kind of thing. This is gotta stop. These keep falling down, you gotta push them back up. They fall down, you gotta push them back up. They fall down, you gotta see what I'm dealing with here? So a quick update, I was wrong. These actually come from Storm over here. So next, let's check out Emma Frost and Storm. Basically, Storm comes with these boots that are really cool, and I put them on Emma Frost to give her a little more height, and also just to look better at least. I think she looks better in heels than she would in flats, so that's that. Storm! Okay. Storm is possibly one of my favorite customs that I've done, aside from Madcap. I really love this figure, how she looks. I just really love this. The head comes from the Retro Storm, as do all of these different electric pieces and these gold armbands. The rest, except for the jacket back here, comes from the Storm with the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure, and I just love it. She looks great. This comes from the Emma Frost figure, and these cufflinks down here for the boots come with the Captain Marvel figure, the Marvel. I love the hair swept in the wind as well as this, how they match. They're moving the same way, that's awesome. I love her a lot. And here's Apocalypse with the coveted head that everyone's looking for. I love this guy, he looks really cool, imposing figure, and a great villain for the X-Men to fight. The thing is, he can transform his arms into different things, and I thought I would demonstrate that here. So you take off Apocalypse's arms here, and you put them to the side, and you get brand new arms, and you add claws to them, and that's really cool. You just open this up and you can close it, but you put it on his arms right here. This little collar piece coming off. And you can attach these hoses back onto the arms, and then you have your Apocalypse figure. And I really find this character great now. He's awesome. You can add the claws to him. He looks really menacing and scary. Looks very threatening and imposing, and this is just beautiful. I love this so much. He's like an evil crab man, but we are not done yet. Take off his arms just one more time, and you can add these from Death's Head 2 and pieces of Apocalypse. And this is where I really got into kit bashing and customizing, because I learned so much about how to heat and boil and pop and make these figures into what I want. I love these super evil guns of death, and they're just nuts. You can never hope to win with this kind of thing. And the best part is he can just skewer hors d'oeuvres with it. Apocalypse has really opened up for me as a character and as a figure with these, and I hope that Hasbro keeps coming out with different attachments for his arms. I've seen people put the buzzsaws from Warlock on him. I've seen people put the cannon from Titus on him. That's a little too much into kit bashing for me. I don't like painting my figures. As far as, heat and boil and pop and piecing it together, I grew up with Lego, so no-brainer for me. This is super cool. I love this a lot. Apocalypse, you're phenomenal, man. Good job. So that's my review of all my X-Men kit bashes. Overall, I find that they're all really cool, and it's fun to make if you want to improve your figures in any way. Madcap is a figure from the ground up based on just the head. Finding all the pieces and putting them all together was a great challenge for me, and it really opened up the world to kit bashing. Apocalypse really showed me that I had to heat up pieces really hot in order to get them to work, and sort of struggle a bit with them, but once they got all the parts on, he turns out to be incredible and a really impressive figure. Storm showed me that when figures aren't the best to me, I can make them even better by putting all the parts together. Now, I'm not a fan of the Retro Storms in general, just because of that weird cape thing with the sort of not plastic feel, and I like having all my figures be comprised of plastic. And I find that this Retro Storm, or this Storm at least in general, is way better than the two Retro Storms they provided us with. Something I like about the action figure community, whether it be the people who make the figures, or the consumer, or people who make kit bashes, is the fact that we're all one big community of people that love Marvel. And it just astounds me, all these figures that I've made, whether it be from kit bashes I've seen online or things I figured out myself. Madcap taught me that I have to plan out what figures I want to get, what pieces are useful, and how to exactly peg in all the parts to make a cohesive figure. Apocalypse taught me that I actually had to use a lot of heat and some force to make a figure. And Storm taught me that even though I don't like a figure on the market, doesn't mean I can't make a great figure out of those parts. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Heck Creative. Feel free to click like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment. You can also visit us at jesseheckcreative.com, where you'll find more reviews like this one. Thanks again for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.